Yes, give it a go.
Yeah, I didn't. I recorded last week's one, but I didn't like it. We didn't really have setups. We didn't miss setups, but there really wasn't a lot there of value, I didn't think, compared to some of the other recordings. So,
Yeah,
I just didn't bother with it.
yeah, that's
Um,
fair.
so this is what I've got on EU. So this is the 30 minute over here or over here, whichever one you want. We've got all downtrends over here. So, we're looking at Jim looks at the 30 minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily, and they're all in down mode. And he marks them up on the 30 minutes. So that's why I've got them up here. The good thing about that I like about Impulse is it tells you right here where we're headed without even having to look anywhere else. But let's actually start at the daily and then we'll work backwards and see where we're at. So the daily is obviously, we would draw a fib right up here. But that really doesn't do much because, we're going back to the 25th of September there, which is not much good at all. But obviously, we are in a downtrend. We crossed in a down, kind of headed down. We're still against trend, but obviously, we popped over here. So it popped back here on a downtrend. So we are in a downtrend. 4 hour, pretty much the same. Here's your, blue under red. We're under the main thing here. We've got our micro, macro pivot lines here. So we did pull away from those back on 25th of October, which was on the Friday. Um, a lot of my on my economic forecast on my FX book is like a scrolling thing along the bottom. So that's what I like using my FX book, although mine does cut off on the bottom a little bit. So I'm not really sure. And I've been trying a lot to get rid of that as well. And I can't. There's like a message. Let me just show you that. Let me stop sharing that and let me share. Do you use my FX book or what do you use?
Yeah, my fixed book.
Yeah, so no, that's not right. Is it right? No, it's still doing the same thing. Hold on. Let's go back to this one. Share. So here is my FX book. And see this scrolling thing along the bottom here?
Mm.
So I often look at that because it does like here, US dollar strengthening against the Japanese yen. Lower open predicted for Hong Kong, but there was one here that says lower open predicted for New York as well. But this message box here, I can't flip and get rid of it. So it kind of covers up half of this stuff.
Mm.
And even when I move it, it moves with it. So I don't know exactly why, and I can't move it around anywhere. And if I pop that up, it gets even worse. But anyway, actually, while I'm on here, let's look at this because we got to be careful next week. There's lots of red things to look at here. Let's go back to Monday. Here's Monday. So not a lot. There's a euro red folder there on Monday, so not much there. A few little red folders there. The trade balance in the US comes in at 5:30, but Jolts is on Tuesday at 7. So that's a real big one. So be aware of that on Tuesday. You're trading over those times. This is all Australian here. And then Wednesday, we've got euro, a lot of news in euro, unemployment rate, etc., the CPI. Lots and lots of red folders for the euro. It's early in the morning for me, obviously 2 o'clock. A little bit more euro there. And the US, we do have an ADP employment change. That does show as a red folder. It doesn't move it as much, I don't think, as a red folder. I think it's more of a yellow. Same with GDP growth rate. Where it does move it, if it goes crazy off these numbers, it will have a big effect. But if it doesn't, it doesn't really have much. This would be interesting for Euro as well, their inflation rate, because they're coming down under they've been down under their 2%, but
Right.
they're thinking it's going to go back up again. Um, and then Thursday, again, a lot of Euro stuff. So that's if we're trading pairs. So Jim basically said he does that on the major crosses. For me, my major crosses are going to be AU, GJ, EU, GU, and UJ and USD CAD. They're basically my six big ones. I mean, there are others, but I tend to just keep to those six because then I've got more of an idea of what's going to happen if I keep it down to those.
Mm.
Lots of euro again, red folders, unemployment rates, etc. So be careful of that on Thursday. And then we got our core PCE price is big, personal income, personal spending. But initial jobless claims continue, jobless claims for a week, and initial and continuous jobless claims are big. So be careful about that on Thursday. And then Friday, of course, we got NFP, but there are some other things, Euro things. Non-farm payroll is going to be 5:30. That's right in the middle of when I'm trading. And then, well, what's that non-farm payroll? Oh, that's private. Okay. This is a big one here, 5:30. Unemployment rate, PMI. So and that's at 7. So 5:30, then 6:30 open, that's Pacific time, and then 7, that's on Friday. So anyway, I always like looking at my FX book the week before just so that I know which are the big ones coming up for the following week. Um, so what look at that, my FX book USD JPY sentiment. What's that say? It's going to be released in at 1 o'clock in the morning, my time. Okay. Ah, all right. So let's get back to our charts. Let's get back to see where we're at. Share. So again, we got, we're well down here. This is the 4 hour on Euro USD. So we are down here. We still got to come back quite a bit to hit that 71 mark. This is the 1 hour here. And again, that's pretty much still in the same position. So, our 71 range is right there. So I guess I'll write this down so that we can have a look here. So 1 hour EU 71 is 71% is 1.08246. And then we'll drop down to 30-minute and see if that's about the same. Might change a little bit because that will go right there. That will go right there. So on the 30-minute, 108,241. So slightly different. 241. So that would be that's where we would put our sell limit on EU at 108,241. our stop loss would be just above here. So our stop loss, let me just see what my spread is here on EU. It's only 2. So we do a 2 pip. So that is right around 94. So 2 times 2, 94. So we would want to be, barely above that line anyway. So our stop loss would be at, if that line is, so stop loss would be 108,398. Okay. And then what we do is we grab our short tool and we would go from here. We will put that up at 0.8. Hardly moves at all. It's literally just above that. You can't even get it close. I'll leave it there. And then we'd look at a 1-to-2 ratio. So our target would be right there. Does that look good to you, Emma? Is that pretty much how Jim's doing it, do you think?
Yeah, that's how I think he's doing it.
Okay, so stop loss would be 1.08398 and our TP at 1-to-2 is going to take us out at 107,922.
Is your impulse the same as your trading view?
No, it isn't. So
Right.
yeah, so um, that is a problem. So, when we look at, let's look at the top of that one, for instance, which is that
Mm-hmm.
10, right at the very top of that is that 108394. If I go to trading view, let's get this is this is my dynamic edge setup. Let's go to a clearer setup. And so these are my camera rulers, still transfer over. But let's go to EU. Here it is. And that line there you can see is 1084 dead on the button. So it's actually only 2 pips off, funnily enough.
I'm just checking mine.
But see my broker I've got it on is FXCM. What's your broker? Oanda?
I've got Blackpool.
Okay. And what's yours at the top there? Is it around the same? One
Uh,
oh no, this is 10390. So mine is actually, hold on, mine is off. Mine's 8 pips off.
so mine is mine's like 1.12 at the top. So mine's quite a difference.
Yeah, 1.12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the bottom is, let me have a look. 1.07603. Let's see.
Wow, okay. Yeah, right now my impulse is about this
Bring up
no,
my
it's still 107,924. 107,924. Yeah, mine are pretty much the same. at the bottom, funnily enough. Mine's only a little bit off from impulse, but the problem is when I go to my trade here, let's have a look where we're at on
Oh,
my.
are you on the 30-minute? Let me have a look. Maybe
Oh,
mine was
oh,
out.
oh, yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. Good thinking. I'm not on the 30-minute. Yeah, 108390. That's 8 pips off there. 107932. 106. Yeah, for some reason or other, it's 8 pips off at the top, but it's about bang on at the bottom. That's peculiar, isn't it?
Yeah, so mine's a bit better. I think I had mine not correct. So my top, if I can, hold on, I just need to get rid of these, close all of the dynamic so I can see my chart. So my top is 108,384.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and my right where we are now, let's just put my broker on 1079. So my broker is about 4 pips off on my broker to impulse.
That's not bad. I think mine's
It's
about
not
four.
yeah. Yeah, I mean it's pretty close. It's pretty close, but it is something. I think that's why I've got it set on FXCM because that's the closest to my broker.
Yeah.
Um, but if I go to, let's just see, if I go to Dynamic Edge, let's see, EU, EU 10, no, let's do the 30-minute. Hey, hi, Damon. 30-minute. Okay, we're at 934. Impulse is at 931. Yeah, so again, they're all pretty close actually. So, a couple of pips out. Um, but you can make that adjustment if you know that it's a pip or two out. But if I'm only literally a few pips out, I don't worry about it too much. I'm going to be looking at the
Mm.
structure. So, for instance, on impulse, for instance, I'm going to be like 4 pips above the top of that candle.
Hmm.
And then if I go to, let's say this was my trading account, I know the top of the candle is there. So I'm just going to put it, a couple of pips above that, 4 pips above that. So it's pretty easy to see. And then I would just put if I was doing if this was my broker, I'd put my let's see, entry 108241. So let's say roughly there, that puts it about there. And then our 1 to 2 would put it down, literally around there. So that's how it would look on, if this was my broker, I'm just doing it on TradingView to show you. It's again the same structure. We're just a little bit above that high point there. There's our entry, 108241. And then there's our TP down at roughly 107920. So 2 pips off on this compared with Impulse. But again, I think two or 3 pips off on these, Emma, I'm not really going to
Mm.
worry about that. If it
Yeah.
was 10 or 20 pips off, I'd be a bit more careful. But I think that's the way to do that. So EU, we would put our stop loss right there. Sorry, our entry right there, 108241 roughly. and our stop loss up there at 108,398, and our TP down there at 107,920. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, are you able to show me just how to put the 0.71 on the I don't think I've done that yet on the fib.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. So all you do, you go here. Let me just get rid of this. Hold on. Get rid of that. So what you do when you open the fib, first of all, you open the fib here, the fib retracement. Okay. And then it will open like this without the 0.71. Then what you do, you right click on the fib itself. Got it?
Yeah.
Then go to settings. And all you're going to do is you're going to choose one of these grayed out numbers that doesn't have a check mark, doesn't matter which one, and check it. Then put 0.71 in it and then change it to that orange line or whatever color you want. I put orange because we don't have any orange on Impulse.
Yeah.
Does that make it clear?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you click OK, the next time you go into it, that fib will show up with the 0.71 line on it. Okay. So that's pretty much where we're going to do it. And then once you've got the fib on there, Emma, then you leave it on there and then you go to your tool here and you want the short position tool. You click on that, you put it on the 0.71 range and it'll pop up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we allow for the spread at the top, so we're just going to move that up from that line, 4 pips, and then we move this down until this area. See where it says zero, the risk reward ratio 0.98, right there. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Then when we drag this down, I know you know all this, but I'm doing it for the recording. Once it hits 2, risk reward of 2, that's going to give you your TP right there. All right. I'm really just saying this for Damon because he's on and I don't think he's seen this training before, and for the recording. So that's how you use the fib and you use the short position. Obviously, we're looking for shorts because we're down, down, down across the whole range. And you've got to use them in tandem. Once you've done that, you can delete both of them because now all you're going to do is enter that into your broker as a pending order. So depending what you do, I'll do this on my demo account. So you can see it. You'll log in. Again, this is so Damon can see that. So what you have here, you have a market position here, and you would click on that and you want to go to pending. And now you've got a sell limit or a buy limit. And when you open that up, you're going to put your things in here. Okay, so your price would go here. So, you know what? Hold on, let me get into EU. EU. Okay, we'll go to the 30 minutes so we know what we're looking at. We can see it clearly. Okay, so there's our 30-minute. We know where our mark's on because we just wrote it down. We're going to go here, pending. And this is, for everyone watching on the replay, whether you're on MT4, Trade Locker, Max Trader, C Trade, or whatever, you've got market positions and you've got pending positions. Market positions means that as soon as you press one of these buttons, you're in the trade. Okay? If you go to pending, this is where you set your sell limit and your buy stop. And when you push in on Trade Locker, you push this up arrow. So you open that up, you change your entry here. So we're going to put my entry is, and I don't do the up and down arrow. I just write it in. 08241. Okay, that's our entry. Our stop loss is going to be 108,398. And our take profit is going to be 107922. Is that correct, Emma?
Yeah. 107. Yeah.
Okay. And then it's very important that you know, are you doing a buy or a sell? Because we want to sell, obviously.
Mm.
Okay, and it'll show here draft, draft, and draft. And when we hit sell, it'll come up here. And when we click this, hold on a minute. I'll just do a standard lot size, okay? 1 to make it easier. And I'll put my sell limit in by pressing this button. And now I have a pending order right here. And here it is. I've got a sell limit is pending. You can see that here. It's a sell. There's our market entry. That's the current market price there. Entry is at 108241. So what we're hoping it does, obviously, is that it's got to come up here, go through this, and when it comes back through that line again, it's going to trigger, and we're looking it to come down to here to take our profit on that line. So this is our take profit line. This is our entry line, and that faint line, can you see that there? That faint line there is our stop loss. So nothing's going to activate. We're looking at for it to come back, come back, come back. It's actually going to cross this this trend line here, come up, and then hopefully either reject off that line. It's got to touch it at least, otherwise it won't trigger the trade. And then come back here and we'll take that 1 to 2 risk reward. And you can see it's done that before it came up. It broke through. It did go higher up. It went above where our pending order is set. Went above it once, twice, 3, 4 times. Didn't hit our stop loss at all. And so, as long as it goes down here, it can go higher up and come down, doesn't matter. It's as long as it doesn't hit our stop loss. Now, if it carries on going and goes up, then obviously we've hit our stop loss and we are going to lose our money. Okay. So that's how it does it. Let me just show you another thing here. I didn't show this. Let's open this. When you put your entry here, 108241. That's still the same. And that's still the same. On Trade Locker, which this is, it'll show you what the profit is. See that there? Can you see that, Emma? So if we hit our TP, a 1 to 2 risk reward, doing a 1 standard lot, because this is a well, we're not quite. Should be a little lower than that. It's 83,000 on this demo account. So we could go, like 0.8 or 0.85. But just for, grins, I'm at a standard lot size. So if that hits, I'm gonna risk $157. over here where the stop loss is, and I'm gonna stand to gain $319. Okay. So that's now in place. I'm not going to place another order. Actually, what I'm going to do is I will place another order because I'll put this down at 0.84 based on my balance here. And I'll put another order in. See, one good thing about this that I do love, Emma,
Yeah,
is if it doesn't hit, it doesn't matter.
that's right. I like that too.
So, and even tomorrow, if I look at it later tonight or tomorrow and it's running away from that, I can delete one of these anyway because we're
Mm.
miles away from where we'll be. But right now, if I do this, you can see these number changes. So I'm risking a loss of 132 for a gain of 268. See that?
Mhm.
So we set that, and you'll see now I got two pending orders. One of them was what should have been the right standard lot size, as opposed to the one I did, which just a standard lot. So I mean, I'm not worried about it now because we're miles away. But I'll probably look at it before I go to bed and just see where we're at. I'll probably delete one of them because why do I need to? Does that sound good to you?
That looks good.
Okay. I won't do any more pairs because we're up at 35 minutes already, Emma, but I think that's pretty much what Jim teaches us on these long things. And so we can then go in and whatever your top, half a dozen pairs are, go through the same process. So what I'll do, I would go to, let's say let's do one more just to for grins here. So let's say AU right here. We'll click on it. And actually, AU has got an up arrow here, so we're not going to do AU. See
Yeah.
that?
Mhm.
So they've got to, all four have got to be in the same direction, so that's not good. Let's go down to see EU we did. Let's do GJ. Just see what that looks like. We're in an uptrend on those. And oh yeah, so now we're all in four uptrends here. Okay. Uh let's look at the daily. Yeah, we know it's in an uptrend. Crossed here back at the end of September. Uh, we do have a pivot line there, which is above and below, but not too worried about on the daily. Let's do the 4 hour. See the 4 hour, we're above both the pivot lines here. So that's looking good. The 1 hour. Again, this is market open today, don't forget. So we're well above this one. Again, Sundays, can throw you off a little bit because it's not giving you, this is way back from, Thursday here, this pivot line.
Mm.
This is today's, but we're well above that. And then we go to the 30-minute, and this is what we see. So we would go to our fib here. I click on it. There's our swing low right there. We're looking up to there. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go from today. So we're going from here. Oh, I don't want that. Let me get rid of that. Clicked on the one thing. So we're going to go from the fib from here to there. Okay. And our 71 is right here. So we've got a, let's write this down. GJ, 71% is at, let's have a look where this is. 198,255. Our stop loss is going to be, oh no, we're in a buy. Our stop loss is going to be just below this. So again, what's GJ? Oh, that's 16 pips at the moment. Okay, so we're going to be 30 below that. So we're going to be 809, 197.76, yeah, about that. So we should be 32. So it's about there, which is okay. And then we'll get our, so now instead of going for our short position, we want the long position because we're going for a buy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we click on exactly where the 71% mark is. There it is. We're going to shorten that up to that 176. That's about right. 765. We're going to change this so that this risk reward is 2. So that's going to take us up to right there, which is actually not even as high as it was before. So our TP stop loss is that. Our TP is going to be roughly there, which is 199217, roughly. Okay, so that's what we would put in our order. Let's just go back here. We'll look at GJ. I don't have it here. Let's go to Forex majors. No, it's not even listed as a major. Ah, all right. Oh, hold on. I got a GJ here. Add to favorites. So we go to GJ. There it is. Oh, we go to we change market to pending. We'll open this up. We're looking at a buy. We're looking at a price of 198.255. We're looking at a stop loss of 197.766. Tell me if I'm doing this wrong, Emma, or it's looking good to you. 199.217. Yeah. And then you can see we need a bigger stop loss here, larger lot size. And what you can do, you can go back to impulse here and you can do your calculator here. We do a lot size, I think it was 83,700 something. Let's do 1%. Entry is 10.
198,255.
No, I just caught that. Your microphone's gone funny again.
Oh, I think your stop loss should be 197,774.
197. 197. What did you say it was? 7?
774, I've got. Maybe, I
Oh,
don't think you did that
I
though.
got 766.
Okay.
I think you're right though. 774.
Mm.
Yeah, because it says it on the right-hand side there. You're right. So 774. Uh, calculate. So the lot size should be 2.67, risking 1%. Okay. So this is how we calculate lot size calculations for anyone on here that doesn't know how to do it. This is available up here on the right-hand side on Impulse at the top, this calculator. Up here, it's grayed out at the moment when I get out that. So when you click on that, this lot size will come up. You put your account size in here, what you want to risk, in this case, 1%. It'll already have the pair that you're actually calculating on will be automatically entered. The entry price will be where the price is right now at market price, but we don't want that. We want to where our entry is when we put it in here. Okay. And then our stop loss will be put in here. And then to get this result, we want to hit calculate. Okay. And when you hit calculate, we got 2.767. We don't need to save the changes. We go back to here. We make our lot size 2.67. Okay. And now you can see if we hit this trade, we're going to make $1,672 and we're going to be risking $850.
I
Okay.
think you need to change your stop loss on here.
Okay. So yeah,
7.4.
774. You're right. 774. So changes it slightly. 836 is what we're risking to win $1,672. It is a buy limit. We are looking to go up. It's in pending. So we hit this button and now we've got another. This is our pending order here. We've got a buy on GJ. That's the current price. That's our entry. There's our stop loss. There's our take profit. There's our lot size. And yeah, 83,700. That's what I put in. So now we have 3 pending orders set up for the week. Basically, what Jim says, if it doesn't set up by about Wednesday, then delete them. So I'm going to leave those in there and I will just look at those and keep an eye on them. If it looks like it's running away in another direction, again, I'll just delete them. But, on a 30-minute, this only has to come down. Again, there's a good chance that this will come down here. I think there's a better chance on this and then shoot, back up. I should have had this further down. But your TP is only there. This is where your entry is. This is where your stop loss is. So your stop loss again is below that recent low for today. If you want to be safer, you can, calculate it from the back here. Let's look at impulse. Instead of doing this here, you could go all the way back to the low right here on 24th of October, which was Thursday. And then you would have to retrace all the way back to 71. In my case, what I will be doing is if it does come down and breaks through this entry and carries on going, it's going to hit my stop loss and get out. But I will redraw this on here and then put another pending order down here. And so this would move down, to this would move down to about there. This would move down to the 71 here. And, our target would be a little bit lower to roughly 2 there. See how that works?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would be looking for, that to see where it goes. If it does hit that original 71 and turns around shortly after and goes back up, I'm happy. If not, I'll cancel it and look to putting another sell limit here. In fact, you could actually put two, to be honest with
Mm.
you, because again, this will only hit if it goes down that low. So we actually could put another buy limit order right here. And then if we do that, if it breaks our first buy limit and hits our stop loss, and then it triggers our second buy limit, we're going to win all that loss back again and more, as we're at risk reward 1 to 2. So that might be worth looking at. In fact, I'm going to write that down as well, and I'm going to put that in just to remind myself. So we got an entry, 71% range is like 197240. Our stop loss is going to be 19, it's already in here, 196.339. And our TP is going to be 199.051. That correct?
Just having a look.
Yeah, so there's our entry. It's marked on the right-hand side with this. So that's our entry, 197.240. Our stop loss, 196.339 down at the bottom there. And
Mhm.
our TP, 199.051 at the top. So I'm going to put that in as well so that we can see whether that hit triggers as well. But this will only trigger if we take a loss on the first one.
Mm. What other how many pairs are you going to do? Do you only do up to six? That's probably enough, eh?
Yeah, I
Even
mean,
four.
well, Jim says he only does the major crosses.
Right.
So whatever you consider the major crosses for you. Yeah, they're my six that I constantly look at and monitor. The only thing that I go after that is let's just get rid of all this because we don't need it anymore, and then we'll wrap up the call because we're nearly at an hour. But I will. So what I will do is I will again go to the filter over here. We're on FX, and I will go here and I will go to strength, and I will look at the ones here that are above 40, and there's only one, and it is UJ.
Mhm.
So, UJ is one of my pairs, so I will look at that. And we are in a buy mode all the way across on UJ. So it looks very, very similar to
Mm.
GJ anyway, almost identical. So I would do the same setup on UJ. The other ones, AU is one of my ones that I would look at. Um, but any of these, I mean, Odd Chef, NZD, USD, especially when you're getting into Asian range, which is what we're in right now, any of these could set up. How Brandon Boyd and Josh Lee, I mean, they want anything above a strength number of 20, but
Mhm.
above 40 is a good strong number. But sometimes when the volume is low, you've got to take the ones above 20. There's actually only four of them anyway, because of until New York and London opens, we just don't have the volume to push them up over 40s in most cases. So, I could trade those top four by doing the same thing. Does that answer your question?
Yeah,
So that
that definitely answers my question. Damon just asked where you see the volume.
well, you don't see the volume here. I mean, we just know that the volume is big. So if I go to Uh, if I go to here, which is babypips.com, Damon, and you look under tools here, and you look under when you go to tools, so babypips.com here. And then if you want to do that whole section there, you can, but you go to tools and you go to Forex market hours, and then this market zone converter comes up. You set your time to your time frame. So we're on PST right now. And then you have trading volume right here. So when you're in the red down here, you can see the volume is low. The high volume, which is this green area, is when New York is open and when London is open. So you can see quite clearly from when London is open from there, you can see at the bottom down here, it's green. And then that will stay green all the way until pretty much the end of New York. So it does slow down a bit, turns yellow around there. And you can see that's like around, it'll stay green up till about 12 o'clock. So, for me, my main trading, that's, see, London opens at, see at the top there, Damon? London opens at 1 a.m. and I'm not trading that early, but I will start trading at 5, which is right here. And you can see with this green line going up at the back here, that's when we start to see the volume growing. So really from 5 a.m., this is Pacific time, up until 9 a.m., that's the most volume in the market. 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time. Doesn't mean you can't trade the other times at all. Because obviously when you talk about volume, you're talking about, $7 trillion or you're talking about $4 trillion. It's it's all relative. There's still a lot of money in the market. And a lot of people actually don't mind trading when it's lower volume because the sudden movements don't catch you out as much.
Mm.
So, when we're looking at impulse here, this is a 30-minute. This is a nice gradual increase from, about 4:30. Market opened here at 2 o'clock. Um, and when we get to about 5 o'clock, we're seeing a nice trend. You could ride that all the way up. We're above the trend line. We're way above the blue. We were in the blue all the way back here on Friday. That hasn't come out. We've stayed up in the upper overbought area. We bounced off here, right here. That would be a good entry there where we bounced off the oversold line here on the stochastic. This line is heading up here, and we're obviously well above the blue zone. So right here, we know we're heading up, and all these blue lines are indicating we're going up. There's no reds. The only red was way back here on Friday. So we're blue, 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 arrows all the way up. We did kind of touch here. We did cross here. So the blue is above the red. And the other thing we're looking at is the blue is getting further away from the red. So as we go up, it's getting further away, further away, further away. It's heading in an upward direction. So if you look at a clock face, if you put a clock face here, that's not very round. But obviously, if the big hand is pointing up to, 1 or 2 o'clock, that is a strong indicator that we're in an uptrend. We are above the pivot line here, which you access through the micro pivot here. We'll put it there, and the macro pivot is way back on Friday, so it's not as important on the Sunday. But again, we're above the macro pivot, we're above the micro pivot. We got blue expanding away from the red. Blue is above red. We're above the trend line. We bounced off the TSI. We're heading in an upward direction here on the blue line. I mean, this has got buy all over it from, from this was your entry right here. And right now you've got up here, you would be putting your, you could be putting your stop loss pretty tight if you wanted to, like around here. If this red line breaks below that blue line, you can get out. Or if you don't like doing that, what you can do is you can grab your Fibonacci tool here, run it from here, the run of color. So I like doing, if there's three or more, this is a James Leone trick, do three or more colors, you run it from here to the top of that red, which is there. And, as long as it stays above the 50, we're going to hopefully see a continuation back up again. So if you want to be really, really tight with your trade, you would get it out if this closes below that blue. But, waiting to see if it crosses here, you're still going to get a profit from here to here anyway. You could put your trailing stop loss on the 618 line if you like to keep you really, really safe. And then at least you've locked in the profit from here to the 618, which is here. You've locked that profit in. So that profit there, you guaranteed to take. That's how we do our make sure that we're going to be profitable. We protect our capital and we protect our trade. So right now, my stop loss will be right on the 618 line. I would be staying in. This didn't close below that blue line right here. Now we got another blue one. Hopefully this will continue and go up. If it does, I'm going to move my stop loss to the 50. And if it keeps going up, I'll be looking to move my stop loss, further up. As this shoots up and up and up, I'll be looking to move my stop loss and keep going like this. And eventually what's going to happen is price is going to come down, hit my stop loss, and then I'm out in all that profit. So that's how you maximize your profit on these trades when they're running. Does that make sense? Okay, we're up the hour mark, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to look at the chat. Oh, we've got a lot of chats that I missed. Yeah, so the calculator, you put in the lot size as a percentage, Damon. So when you open that calculator, it asks you what your risk is. And then, I would suggest putting 1% in. Usually you're going to put 1 to 3%, but 1% is going to be really, really safe for you. Where do you see volume? We answered that. That's all the questions. Anything else before we sign off? Let me just take my stop recording.